Okay, so Dave from Smart Trucking, he made a video talking about like what's your exit plan. If you don't know who Smart Trucking is and you're looking for trucking advice, you definitely need to go watch the Smart Trucking channel. He made a video talking about like drivers leaving the industry and what's your exit plan for when you leave. And the day has come where, I'm pretty sure this is it for me, and I'm just going to leave this industry behind and I'm just going to move on and do something else. And if you watch my channel, it's because of the money. I'm out here running my 70 or sometimes just short of my 70. I'm out here staying out, putting in the miles. And dude, it's just, sometimes I'm not even seeing like $1,000 on a paycheck. I don't know what's going on. Well, you know what? I think I do know what's going on. I think this is just trucking. I think for the most part, like I said, most truckers just don't make a lot of money. Most truck drivers don't make money like that. Most of them don't. And yes, every time I do this, right, every time I say this, I'm always going to get the 100 granders in the comments. Oh, I make 100,000. I make 100,000 or whatever. And that's you. And you know what? That's cool. That's great that you're in a position to do that, that you're at a job that pays you that much money. Most trucking jobs, most of them out here don't. The cool thing about being a trucker is once you're a truck driver, and you get in the driver's seat and you drive the truck, you're always going to have work. I mean, you don't really have the problem with being unemployed or whatever. I mean, if you get in an accident and you're like really negligent and driving reckless, yeah, you get fired. But for the most part, you'll always have a job. But the problem is, you're always most likely going to have a low paying job, because the high paying jobs, they're just really hard to get into. Because what's going on in trucking, I said this in my YouTube short, is you have way more CDL holders than good high-paying jobs available. Now, there's jobs available all day if you want to run in a sleeper and do OTR, dedicated, regional or whatever. But these high-paying jobs like tanker, hazmat, car hauling, food service, LTL, everyone knows that that's where the money is at. So once you get your experience and you find out, oh, the money is in LTL, it's in tanker, all of those companies, they get so many applicants, okay? Like, I went on an interview with Cisco and he pretty much told me like, there's 20 people after you. Like, wow. Okay. Like, and that was just for just like one position, just one driver position. There was probably over like 20 applicants, because he was interviewing people before me and then 20 more after me. And yeah, I'm out here running my 70-hour clock. I'm out here putting in these miles. I'm putting in the work. And, if things keep going the way that they're going, like if this is what trucking is, it just doesn't make a lot of money. One day I'm going to become an old man. One day I'm going to be 67, 68, 70 years old. And if this is the way that things are going to keep going in this industry, then I worry about that old man version of myself. And I don't think I'll be left with anything. I don't think I'll have anything in retirement. I think all I'm going to have is just like some social security check and some Medi-Cal or Medicaid or whatever. So my exit plan is I'm going to quit trucking and I'm going to go back to school. I mean, all I did was high school. So I'm going to be starting off from like the very bottom, like getting the associates, BA, and, yeah, I said don't go to college, but I also said don't go to college unless if what you're going to college for is going to make you a lot of money, like a medical doctor or a lawyer, like some big time scientist or chemist or whatever. So if you went to college and you're not a doctor, a lawyer, something that's really going to pay off that debt and that's really worth it. Yeah, like if you're going to go to college and get into debt, it needs to be in something that's going to make you a lot of money. That way you have somewhat of a fighting chance to pay down your student loan debt. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to school and I'm going to just sit down for like 7 to 8 years and I'm going to try to be a lawyer. I'm just going to seriously, I'm just going to go to school and, because this trucking thing, it's always been about money. I got into this thinking that I was going to be making a lot of money. Obviously not at first, but I thought, once I get my years in and I get all of my endorsements, which I have, I get a clean driving record, which I have, I'm coming up in April. It's going to be 4 years that I would have been in this industry. And dude, you name it, I've applied for it. Like, I know all you guys just go off in the comments and, I appreciate the advice. I do, apply here, apply there. I have and have been for years. And I just can't keep waiting on it. And honestly, when I really think about it, the lifestyle that I want to live, I just don't think trucking can deliver it, right? Like, say I were to become an owner operator one day, and who the hell is that? Oh, it's a driver. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, it's late. I got to get up out of here. Um, Say one day, the rates go up like COVID or whatever, and you can make all this money, and like that's where trucking is going to be at. If I got to be honest with myself, like one day, yeah, I'm going to become an old man, and I don't really want to look back on my life. And, like I've spent most of my life in the truck. Like when I get off work, I'm still at work in the truck. You know what I mean? And especially for the pay that I've been seeing, dude, like, at this job that I'm at now, I haven't even seen a full $1,400 paycheck, dude. I mean, forget about 15 or something like that, dude. Some weeks I work and I don't even see a full $1,000 going into my bank account. Dude, I don't got child support, kids, garnishments, none of that. It's just, trucking just doesn't pay that much money, dude. If you can't get into one of the high paying jobs like food service, LTO, some sort of a private fleet or whatever, and dude, like, I've been applying for these places and just nothing. If you can't get into those jobs, I mean, you have one of two options, really. You could either just get out of the trucking industry, or you're going to have to settle for, a job that you can get into, like OTR, regional, where, dude, you're just not going to make that much money. All of the free time we give away, waiting, like no detention pay, no layover, and you only get paid for your miles and probably like $15, $20 a stop. The do me a favor scams where, like you're doing them favors, like moving equipment around, and they shoot you like $20 or something like that. It's, I could say it's ridiculous, but the way our country works is capitalism. The markets dictate what's valuable and what's not. And from what, the market is showing me, is truck drivers, they're just not that valuable. They're just not worth that much money, because if they were, I think we'd be making a lot of money, right? Like I think a company driver, even at a mega carrier, should be making around like 150 grand running OTR dedicated, like in these sleeper cabs where you stay out and you're at work like damn near all the time. I would think that that's worth like 150 grand, you know what I mean? And on top of that, the pay should be going up from there, from like a lease operator all the way to an owner operator with his or her own authority. And the money that, I've been seeing, and it's not just me, dude, there's other owner operators that are complaining about the rates and they're not making no money. Other company drivers are saying the same thing, that they're just not making money like that. One reason why it's kind of hard to just get up and walk away is because I've spent almost like 4 years doing this. So it's kind of like the sunk cost fallacy. It's kind of hard to let go of an investment that you've invested so much of your time in. But then again, the clock is ticking. I'm only getting older, and I really do worry that as I get older, like when I'm an old man, if I stay a truck driver, Augustine, the old retired truck driver, is only going to be like have SSI and like nothing saved up, dude. I mean, it's hard to save money when you're not making any money. I think Augustine, the lawyer, you know what I mean, is going to be broke through, my 30s. I'm just going to be broke, dude. I'm going to be in school and I'm going to have to take the hit pretty much throughout my 30s. I'm 32. I'm going to be going to school for like 7 to 8 years. So I'm going to be broke throughout my 30s. Like, not all the way broke. I have other income streams and I'll even work part-time. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. But in the long run, I think it's going to be like a good change for me. I think, 4 or 5 years into a career as a lawyer, opposed to just staying in trucking, where I've already spent like damn near 4 years and I'm just not making no money. I don't think that's going to be the case, working 70 hours as a lawyer opposed to working 70 hours a week as a truck driver. I think a lawyer, like in his or her 5th year, working 70 hours, like putting in that work, because lawyers put in that work just like us. I think the ROI as a lawyer is going to be a lot higher, with the amount of work that I'm putting into this trucking. I think the return on investment is a lot better, with that same amount of time and work effort spent, as a lawyer, right? Even though it's going to suck trying to get there, it's going to be, dude, it's a long process. I'm going to be in school for a really long time. But like I said, this has always been about money, and I guess I got my answer. I guess truckers don't make that much money. I've heard this before. I got into trucking from the Smart Trucking YouTube channel, Dave, rest in peace to Dave, for real. But yeah, that was like a reoccurring statement that he would say on his channel, that truck drivers, the pay is just so low. The pay is almost not worth it. And that's why a lot of truck drivers end up leaving. And I guess I'm just going to be another statistic, I guess. Can you get rich in trucking? Well, sure. If you get into a high paying truck driving job and you could keep your expenses like very low, or like if you could like make a lot of money and just live in the truck, sure. Yeah, you could definitely get rich doing this. You're not going to have much of a life outside of work. You're going to, miss out on a lot of your relationships. But yeah, I mean, like one day you'll have some money. You know what I mean? Like one day. Is it worth you getting your CDL, right? Because I know a lot of people are going to say, I'm being negative or whatever, but is it worth you getting your CDL and becoming a truck driver? Trucking Unfiltered, Tommy Unfiltered, he answers this question a lot on his YouTube channel when he's talking about just trucking or whatever.
Do I think people should go out and get their CDL today? Absolutely, I do. If that is your best option to make the most amount of money as fast as possible, then yes.
And I definitely agree with his statement. If trucking, like if this is what you want to do, if you just want to be a truck driver, then yeah, dude, don't listen to me. You do you. You come out here, get your CDL, and you do what you want to do, right? If trucking is the best that you can do, like if this is the best thing you got going, like this is the best thing that you could do to make some money, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But as far as I go, I think I could do a lot better than this. I think I'm young enough to, make a change, make a career change in my life, go back to school. And, I'm only going to live this one life, right? The lifestyle that I want to live is, I want to make a lot of money. I want to drive a nice car. I want to live in a desirable area, like back home in San Francisco or down south in Los Angeles or San Diego or something. I don't want to live in like the trucking areas, like Bakersfield or somewhere like in Texas or something. I mean, no disrespect to those areas, but dude, I just don't want to live in those areas. You know what I mean? And not to mention, dude, like this is all about money. I don't mind. I mean, yeah, it sucks being away, but dude, if you were going to pay me 150 grand to be a sleeper cab truck driver, I would stay. Honestly, like if I was making 150 grand as a company driver, and then there was a prospect of making even more as a lease operator or an owner operator, I would most definitely stay in trucking. But that's not the case, dude. Like I'm out here running my clock and I'm not even seeing a full $1,000 go into my paycheck sometimes, so that's not worth it for me. When you really do the math with all the time that you spend at work versus your paycheck and you divide it up, I'm out here working for less than minimum wage. So yeah, that's my plan. Even when I get out of trucking, I'll still be vlogging. This is a vlogging channel, but yeah, that's my exit plan for trucking. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to go all the way, and I'm going to go for being a lawyer. Like how am I going to get rich in trucking? I'm going to quit trucking, go to school, go to college, and try to become a lawyer. That's how I'm gonna do it. So yeah, peace out. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to smash the like button on this video. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And I gotta go start my 34-hour reset. I'm not gonna just like quit trucking like tomorrow, like right away. I got a little bit of, like the last bit of my debt that I need to pay off. And, once the debt's paid off, and I think I might buy a Tesla so I could like part-time Uber drive in a Tesla. Like I might trade in, like I got a Toyota, I might trade that in for a Tesla. I've been wanting to get a Tesla or whatever. And I think once, the debt's paid off and, maybe I get a Tesla, maybe I don't. Once the debt's paid off, that's when I'll probably sign up for like, not this coming semester, but the semester after that. And then once I start school, dude, that's when I'm going to quit trucking. So this year is going to be my last year in trucking. Like I said, dude, I just got to think about my future. And yeah, that's the video. Peace out.